fix yourself before it's too late. There comes a moment in every life. Not a dramatic, lightning strike moment, but a quiet, sobering one. A moment when something within whispers that something needs to change. That the way things are going can't continue. That if the direction doesn't shift soon, the damage will become permanent. That moment is the call to fix what's broken before it's too late. Not because the world demands it, but because the soul can only carry so much weight before it begins to collapse. Time never slows down. It never waits for someone to become ready. It doesn't extend grace to those who need just one more day. It moves with cold precision, and it leaves behind anyone who refuses to move with it. The illusion of tomorrow is one of the greatest lies told by comfort. The belief that there will always be another Monday to start fresh, another January to begin again, another season to take life seriously. But life doesn't wait for realizations to come. It rewards the ones who decide now, not later, to get up, get serious, and face what's been avoided for far too long. The clock is ticking, not as a threat, but as a truth. Days will pass regardless of how they're spent. And there are two types of pain in life, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. One is heavy now and freeing later. The other is easy now but soul-crushing in the end. And too many choose the second path because they confuse comfort with peace. But comfort can be a cage, not a sanctuary. The choice to change must be made without applause, without validation, and without the guarantee that everything will be easy. Because fixing what's broken doesn't mean the world becomes easier. It means the inner strength to handle it grows deeper. There is no perfect time to begin. There's only the now, the uncomfortable, imperfect now, where transformation begins. Waiting until everything aligns is the same as deciding never to change at all. Responsibility is not a punishment, it's power. The moment responsibility is taken for what's going wrong, the keys to freedom are handed back. Blame is a thief. It steals time, energy, and opportunity. It convinces the mind that change must wait on someone else, something else, some external shift. But the truth is uncomfortable. No one is coming. No one will ever care as deeply about the soul's condition as the soul's owner. And that's not a tragedy, it's a gift. Because it means no one has to wait to be rescued. The power to fix what's been damaged lies within. To avoid this responsibility is to stay trapped in cycles. Patterns repeat because the lesson wasn't learned. The same mistakes show up in different disguises because the root problem hasn't been addressed. And life will continue to teach the same lesson over and over again, until it finally breaks through. That's not cruelty. That's mercy, because ignoring the problem doesn't make it disappear. It only makes it harder to solve. Pain is not the enemy. Avoidance is. Pain can teach, guide, and sharpen. Avoidance dulls, numbs, and delays. And the longer pain is avoided, the deeper it settles in. What begins as a whisper of discomfort becomes a scream of desperation when left untreated. Emotional wounds are no different from physical ones. If ignored, they fester. If faced, they heal. But healing requires effort. It requires facing things that are unpleasant, uncomfortable, and buried deep. There's a dangerous belief that time heals everything. Time doesn't heal, work does. Time simply passes. What happens during that time determines whether healing or deeper damage occurs. The process of fixing the self is not passive. It doesn't happen by waiting or wishing. It happens by digging in and doing the hard work, consistently, silently, and without shortcuts. Discipline is the medicine the mind resists but the soul craves. Not the harsh, rigid discipline of punishment, but the focused, loving discipline of direction. The kind that says, I matter too much to keep living like this. The kind that refuses to let comfort sabotage destiny. The kind that builds strength in silence while the world keeps spinning. Every day is made of small choices. Not grand gestures, but little decisions that either build or destroy. The choice to wake up early or sleep in. The choice to speak truth or hide in silence. The choice to take the first step or stay frozen. These moments seem small, but they stack up, like bricks, building either a prison or a path. And the weight of an entire life is carried by these invisible, daily choices. It doesn't matter how broken things feel now. What matters is what happens next. There is no situation so damaged it cannot be improved. No mind so scattered it cannot be calmed. No life so derailed it cannot be brought back on track, but only if the work begins now. Not later. Not tomorrow. Not when it feels right. The future is not some distant, vague reality. It is being created now. With every thought, every action, every decision, it is being written, line by line, step by step. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. Waiting doesn't rewrite the future. Action does. No one is immune from brokenness. Everyone carries something, but not everyone chooses to fix it. That choice, to rise rather than sink, to grow rather than hide, is what separates the fulfilled from the regretful. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. Not about having it all figured out, but being willing to face what's real and take the next right step. No applause comes with healing. No spotlight waits at the end of self-discipline. No crowd cheers when bad habits are replaced with better ones. But quiet victories are the most powerful kind. The ones where no one else sees, but the soul does. The ones where the mirror slowly becomes easier to face. The ones where shame begins to lift and strength takes its place. Fixing the self requires silence. It requires shutting out the noise of comparison, of judgment, of distraction. It means learning to listen to the inner voice again, the one buried beneath years of chaos. That voice isn't gone. It's just been waiting for attention. And once heard again, it becomes the compass. The world doesn't reward excuses. It rewards results. Harsh truth, but necessary. While others are drowning in distractions, the few who commit to real change rise quietly. Not overnight, not without setbacks, but steadily. Brick by brick, layer by layer. They rebuild. They heal. They transform. Healing is not a trend. It's not a luxury for the privileged. It's survival. In a world that constantly breaks people down, those who repair themselves are the ones who endure. And the sooner that process begins, the less damage has to be undone. Every moment spent avoiding is a moment lost to progress. Every day spent ignoring is a day further from freedom. And the further it goes, the heavier it becomes. Until eventually, change becomes not just difficult, but desperate. The goal is to act before desperation sets in, before the mind breaks under pressure, before the damage becomes irreversible. Nothing is guaranteed. Not time, not opportunity, not health. What's guaranteed is now, this breath, this moment. And this moment is enough to begin, not to finish, not to fix everything overnight, but to begin, and that's everything. The process won't be easy, but it will be worth it. The tears, the loneliness, the doubt, they are all part of the rebuilding. They are not signs of failure, but signs of construction, of something being put back together stronger than it was before. And it's never too far gone. No mistake too big. No past too broken. The moment one decides to fix the self is the moment everything begins to shift. The longer that moment is delayed, the longer life is lived at half capacity, disconnected, distracted, and divided. The most dangerous thing isn't failure. It's settling. Settling for mediocrity. Settling for pain. Settling for dysfunction as if it's normal. Life isn't meant to be a series of tolerated struggles. It's meant to be lived fully, freely, and consciously. And that only happens when the inner work is done. The mind must be trained. The heart must be healed. The habits must be rebuilt. This isn't about achievement, it's about alignment. Aligning who one is with who one was meant to be. That alignment brings peace. That alignment brings strength. No more waiting. No more wishing. No more blaming. Just a decision. A simple, powerful decision. Fix yourself before it's too late. Before the days blur into years. Before the regret sets in. Before the window closes. The time is now. The tools are within. The only question left is, will you begin?